Bihar Blues. The emotive issues can work in only in tandem with the articulation of livelihood concerns. So, elections are actually taking place in Bihar, and for that politicians are actually using emotive issues to uh, to have the people to have the people vote for the specific party. So for that they are using emotions, and author is saying that these emotive issues can come into play only when if the politicians not only use just emotive issues, but they should also they should also manage the employment issues and the livelihood concerns of the voters. More than 54% of voters in 94 seats across 17 districts in Bihar voted in the second of the three-phase assembly election on Tuesday. So yesterday the second phase of the election took place, which are going on in Bihar, and in that 54% of the voters have voted for 94 votes in a total number of districts of 17. The first phase on October 28 had witnessed more than 55% voting in 71 seats. So, as I said, the voting which happened yesterday or Tuesday was the second phase. So, the first phase voting which happened on October 28 included more than 55% voters, and they have voted for 71 seats. In the third phase on November 7, the remaining 78 seats across 15 districts will vote. So on November 7th, we have the third phase of the voting, where uh, uh, where se- where 78 seats will be voted in 15 districts. Um, in 2015, of these 94 seats, RJD had won 33, and JDU had won 30, and BJP 20, and the Congress 7. So the same elections which took place last year, um, they and this is their data. Um, in the previous year, RJD had won 33 seats, BJP had won 20 seats, and JDU had won 30 seats, and the Congress won 7. The Lok Janshakti Party had won into constituencies, and one seat each had gone to the Communist Party of India and an independent candidate. Now we are talking about the previous condition. The um, the 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 Lok Janshakti Party had won in two areas in Bihar, and one seat was won by an individual candidate with no party, and the second seat went to the Communist Party of India. The JDU that came to power in 2015 in alliance with the RJD, with the RJD and the Congress made a somersault later, and it's contesting this year in alliance with BJP. So actually, JDU last year it actually kind of grouped with the other party RJD, and now it turned sides as now the condition of BJP is better, because the central government is BJP. So because of that, it turned its side into BJP, and now it's parting with the party BJP. Incumbent Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's advantage at the beginning appears to have considerably dissipated as the second phase as the second phase concludes. So the JDU's member Nitish Kumar's. At first he had big advantages as he grouped with the BJP, but now when the pandemic began, he knew that he was not having much advantage. RJD's 30 years old leader Tejasvi Yadav's unrelenting campaigning has struck a chord with the voters, particularly the youth. So while this was the thing which was going on with JDU, RJD is onto a good catch. Its member its member Tejasvi Yadav. He is 30 years old and is making really good progress, and he has convinced and encouraged all the people to vote for him, especially the youth. Mr. Yadav managed to put the government on the mat of questions of employment, healthcare, outmigration from the state. So he mainly focused on these issues: employment, medication, healthcare, and outmigration. Means the way in which people go out. out of the state or country. His promise of 10 lakh jobs is resonating well among the swelling unemployed population of the state, and RGD's alliance with Congress and the left is working well on the ground. Um, so now he is not only that he focused on some issues like healthcare, medication, and etc. He also promised the voters 10 lakh jobs because Bihar is actually suffering right now without jobs. So he promised 10 lakh jobs for the if he becomes the chief minister. The BJP alliance banked on development is issues and a formidable social coalition of upper castes, extremely backward classes, and Mahadalits. Its claim of double engine progress driven by governments in the state at the center is weak at this time due to the mishandling of the COVID 19 pandemic by both Mr. Yadav's efforts to underplay identity oriented mobilization strategies and advance a new vocabulary for politics is laudatory but fraught with risks. So it says that the the JDU claimed that this year, as it grouped with the BJP, it will have its progress will be double engine. Means it has advantages in two ways. One is that it has advantages from it will have advantages from BJP as it is the central government, so it will obviously have advantages. But all the issues turned out that there won't be much advantages because of the COVID-19 lockdown. And also, Mr. Yadav had put so much effort, he's from RJD, and he has put so much effort and to convince the voters, and he had used many new words which are very motivating and encouraging for the voters to vote for him. All his ideas were very laudatory or very praiseworthy and good, but they are also very risky to implement them. The response from the BJP and the JDU has already taken shape ahead of the third phase, which will largely be in the northeastern part of the state, on a back foot of the governance questions. Both Mr. Kumar and Prime Minister Narendra Modi are focusing more on the emotive issues that can polarize the voters. So, as I said, Mr. Yadav had made many efforts, and it turned out that all his ideas were filled with risks. So now BJP and JDU had shown their response even before the third phase started. Means I think today or yesterday, and they have responded to that, which will largely be in the northeastern part of the state, and the response will mostly affect the northeastern part of the state of Bihar. Now, Mr. Prime Minister and Nitish Kumar, the presidents of their respective parties, both of them are trying to fear the people that if RJD again comes into power, its ruling won't be very good, and it will mishandle like in the way it did in the year of 2015. Mr. Modi has cited the Ram temple in Ayodhya and Kashmir policy as the BJP's differentiators. Now, if Mr. Modi said that, people may think that, oh, okay, I won't vote for him, but what's the proof that even you would mishandle this? Then he answered that he answered that we won't do that because we have done many good things, such as in the case of the Ram temple, where we gave it to Hindus as which is correct, and also in the case of Kashmir policy. Mr. Modi had introduced a new policy for Kashmir people. So because of these two reasons, he says that we are better than that party. If this turn dominates the field until the third phase, there will be considerable cost to social harmony and democratic norms. So if this continues in this fashion, the next phase won't be happening in a peaceful situation. Thank you.